So in this video, I just want to show you, in case you were wondering, what I ate when I was a vegan that caused me to deteriorate or whatever happened. What failed me. And I know you're looking at a picture of a salad and you're like, oh, you were a raw vegan, that's why you failed. No, I was not raw vegan. I ate cooked food. But I just have like a handful of photos from when I was a vegan. I cannot find all the photos because I don't have the same Instagram page that I did when I was a vegan. I deleted it. So I just have like a couple photos, and then I have some receipts from groceries that I ordered online. I did not order all my groceries online, just like half of them. And all the receipts from the supermarket trips, those are nowhere to be found. Obviously, who keeps supermarket grocery receipts forever? I don't. But I was vegan between 2012 and 2018, and it was a total of about 6.5 years. So here is the first image. So obviously this is a salad. I don't remember all the ingredients in this particular salad because this is from years ago. But just looking at it, I can see that I had some of those cherry tomatoes. I definitely had a lot of avocado. I can't tell what that is. It's maybe either pumpkin seeds or the almonds that are sliced up really thin. I used to put both of those, and walnuts or whatever nuts and seeds that I had. I used to put them in my salad because I started learning about the fat-soluble vitamins, and for some reason I felt like greens and fats went well together because you couldn't have your fats with sugar, right? So you had to have them with greens so that you can absorb the vitamin K and the whatever is in the greens. So I used to put a lot of avocado and those diced up nuts and seeds and the cherry tomatoes, and also liked the green onions, the scallions. I can see a couple of those, but I used to put a lot of those in there because I like the flavor, and cilantro and stuff like that. So this is a salad that I would typically eat when I was a vegan. I ended up eating most of my fats with greens. I started avoiding processed foods. After like the first year of being vegan, I started avoiding the processed foods and not eating the fats and the sugars together anymore. And I was feeling great for the first year, second year, third year, fourth year. But into that fifth year, I don't know what happened, even though I was eating pretty much the same the whole time. I always wonder, how can you be doing a diet wrong when it makes you feel good for years? Like 4 or 5 years, well over 1,000 days of supposedly eating wrong, and all of a sudden you were just doing it wrong the whole time, and it served you well for over 1,000 days of eating it. I don't get that, but let's move on to the next dish that I was eating when I was vegan. Okay, obviously some strawberries. In the summertime when I was a vegan, I would eat a ton of strawberries, like a whole carton every day. Because it was hot outside, it was really expensive to do that, but it was really delicious and hydrating, and I enjoyed it. I love fruit. I love fruit and vegetables, and I ate a lot of those. And I know this is another raw vegan dish here, but I was not raw vegan, I assure you. And yeah, I could eat a lot of fruit and vegetables with no digestive issues. I would have huge smoothies with a ton of kale, collard green, spinach. Towards the end, I would have an entire cup of flax seeds a day. Tons of fiber, tons. Like, I don't even understand how I could handle it, but I never had any digestive problems from a vegan diet. For some reason, I feel like my body can handle tons of plant food with no issue whatsoever, but the only issue that I had was kidney stones. I don't know if that's part of the digestive, but I ended up getting kidney stones from all those greens in the smoothie. This is another meal. I would sometimes start by having a little bit of some water-rich fruit. I feel like all these pictures were probably from the summertime because of all the fruit, but I would eat this star fruit, and then when I was done that, I would eat like beans, rice. This is only like half the plate in the picture. It was a huge serving of beans and rice with salsa or whatever. I don't know what that is. It might have been pasta sauce. Tomatoes, and then on top of some vegetables, some leaves like romaine lettuce or whatever is there. And it was a huge portion because this is only half the plate. Like, I can see the plate split down the middle there. I remember this plate. And yeah, I ate beans, I ate legumes. A lot of the vegans, they come in the comments, oh, you ate nothing but Oreos and lettuce and celery. You didn't eat beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, lentils. Yes, I did. This is some soup that I made. It has like mushrooms, zucchini, potato, I think, scallions, dill. It was kind of spicy because I put cayenne pepper in it. I don't even remember everything that is in these foods that I was eating when I was a vegan because it feels like a million years ago. Plus, I feel like I was in kind of like a haze, like a brain fog as a vegan, so I really just don't remember. I couldn't even remember what I ate in a day as a vegan. At the end of the day, I couldn't remember what I ate previously in the day. But yeah, I had this soup. I had a lot. I liked it super spicy with cayenne pepper up in there. I like that dill. I love dill in soup. It's so good. But yeah, this is another thing that I ate, and this whole bowl is. I would eat this whole entire thing. You can't tell how big this bowl is, but it's not a normal size cereal bowl. This is like, I don't even think this bowl is for soup because it was kind of shallow, but I think it was like a solid bowl, like a serving solid bowl, and I ate all of this. A random sweet potato that when I cut it open, it was shaped like a heart. And I took a picture of it. I would not just eat one sweet potato, so don't think that this is a meal. This is like part of a meal. I would probably have like 4 sweet potatoes and some other things as well. So yeah, I ate the root vegetables, and I also ate like beets, radishes. I don't know if radishes are a root vegetable, but I started eating a lot of those. All these random foods from the supermarket that I never knew what to do with before. I ended up buying them and trying to figure out how to cook them, and they were all right. I would make myself eat pretty much every produce item at the supermarket that was available. I would eat it, I would buy it and try it and find a way to cook it and eat it. So if there's any other produce items that I needed to stay vegan, and that's why I did vegan wrong, it just wasn't available in my area because every single item available in that produce section, all the leeks and the beets and all this random stuff that I never had growing up, I would buy it. I never had radishes growing up. Buy that stuff, find a way to cook it, and eat it on a regular basis. Dandelion greens, all that. This is a gigantic baked portobello mushroom with some stuffing. It has like corn, peppers, and like not the croutons, whatever the stuffing is made from in the middle. And this was so good. Like the stuffing that I got, this vegan stuffing, it was so good. They spiced it like just right. It was so good. I know I'm saying that these foods are good, so I'm not the type of person that's going to be up here saying, "Oh, foods, all the plant foods are poisonous." And I'm telling you, these foods were delicious. They were amazing. I loved them while I was eating them. This stuffing was fire. It was so good. I wish they still had it, but I haven't seen it at the market in a while. But yeah, it was really good. All this stuff was really, really delicious. And this is that stuffed portobello mushroom. And I heard that the portobello mushrooms have all these vitamins, like vitamin D, I think, and all these B vitamins. So I would eat a lot of these, and I would get hooked on these portobello mushrooms, and they were super easy to make. These were also amazingly delicious. It's like carrot cake, donut holes with some coconut, like those coconut flakes on the outside. And so these were made from carrots, dates. So this was technically another raw vegan dish. I never saw anything wrong with eating cooked and having those raw food cookbooks and making a few of those recipes. So maybe that's how I did veganism wrong. Was I supposed to eat just all cooked foods? Was I supposed to not incorporate this carrots and this coconut shavings and dates or whatever? And I know these have sugar and fat together in them, but another thing was I never had any blood sugar issues as a vegan. When I was a vegan, those were the two things that, for me at least, remained consistently perfectly fine. No issues whatsoever with the blood sugar, no issues whatsoever ever with the digestion. No complaints at all. As far as I can remember, nothing at all happened. No lightheadedness from blood sugar dropping, no bathroom issues, nothing. So yeah, these were amazing. These were so good. Maybe I'll make them again one day, but it was a lot of work. Those raw vegan recipes, they're not that easy to make. It takes a lot of effort. You gotta get that food processor out, and then when you're done, you gotta scrape all the crap out the food processor and soak it, and it's just too much. But these were really good, bottom line. These are some wraps that I made. I wouldn't even consider this to be like a meal. It was more like a snack because it's just like salad with avocado, maybe like a thin layer of hummus, and then like the wrap itself was a plantain and flaxseed wrap. So I guess technically it was raw except for like hummus or whatever I would put in there. But it wasn't super filling, but it was really good. The wrap made out of the plantains and flax seeds, that was quite good. And that hickory smoke flavoring, I'll put that in there too with those flax seeds and plantains. The vegan food is very flavorful, and I did enjoy these little snack wraps. This is an example of a shopping trip, an online shopping trip. I did not order all my groceries online, just like half of them. It was kind of like a supplemental thing to my diet because I would blow through all those groceries really, really fast, and just having this online delivery come the next day after you order it and not have to worry about running to the supermarket when you don't have time, it was a good service. So I got plantains, almond milk, radishes, this ketchup. Maybe that's why I failed veganism. I was eating this organic tomato ketchup that's processed. Mangoes, And bananas, that would be for smoothies. And then I would have all the greens that would go in the smoothies. Those would be in the freezer because you can just wash the greens, put them in a freezer bag, and just break off pieces of them as needed when you make the smoothie. That's what I would do. Some baby carrots, plantain chips. I would blow through cans of garbanzo beans like super fast, and a whole bunch of vegetable and tofu miso ramen. Maybe that's also why I feel, because that was kind of processed too, right? It was like rice noodles with seasoning and vegetables, a packet of tofu and miso, and dehydrated vegetables and tofu. So maybe that's where I failed veganism, because I ate that and that was processed, right? The dehydrated tofu. And at the regular supermarket, that would be where I would get like the big bulk bags of oatmeal, the rice, the lentils, the split peas, the pinto beans, the black eyed peas, all that stuff, all the bulk stuff I would get from the supermarket, because online they didn't really have that at this time. They just had like the smaller convenient sizes, like a can of garbanzo beans, a can of black beans. But I would need to go to the supermarket and get like a huge bag that was cheaper. And then the garbanzo beans, I still had to keep ordering those because I ate so many of those garbanzo beans. I loved hummus, and chickpeas are like one of my favorite foods, so had to order those online. Some more of that nuts and seeds that the vegans, all the vegan commenters, you didn't do it right. You didn't eat nuts and seeds, beans and legumes. Those are the four main things that they mention: nuts, seeds, beans, and legumes. As if we didn't go online and buy these Brazil nuts and go into the supermarket and buy these Brazil nuts. As if we did not buy a whole carton of mixed nuts just so that we can get a handful of Brazil nuts out of it so that we can have a couple Brazil nuts a day, buying these expensive nuts. So yeah, I got these Brazil nuts and I eat a couple of them a day. It was cheaper to order them online, of course. So I got these from Amazon in August 2017. And it wasn't only Brazil nuts that I was eating, okay? I ate peanuts, I ate pistachios, tons of pistachios, almonds, walnuts, pecans, tons of different nuts and seeds. I would eat sunflower seeds. I would have shopping bags full of sunflower seed shells all the time because I like those. So, all you vegans, you didn't eat nuts and seeds. All you ate was rice and potatoes and bananas like freely. No, I ate fat. I ate fat and I never got underweight as a vegan, so that wasn't really an issue for me either. I know the dates on these things are showing 2017, but this is around the time when I started going online and really ordering a whole bunch of stuff online, instead of, because I moved out of the city and I could not go in Whole Foods and get a whole bunch of vitamins and Brazil nuts and stuff like that. I moved out to a rural area and I had to start ordering stuff online. So don't think that I just started taking vitamin D3 in 2017. No, I've been was taking it. But so yeah, I got this 5,000 IU vegan D3, meets calcium and bone health needs. Meanwhile, that was around the time when my teeth were disintegrating like I don't know what. Millions of dentist appointments around this time. I had to get my wisdom teeth pulled out and stuff too in 2017. So yeah, I was taking this. There was also a vitamin K2. I think I might have gotten that in store or in person from somewhere. So don't think that these are all the only things that I purchased when I was a vegan. These are the only receipts that I have, because I don't have no in-store receipts. I don't have no photographs of me buying vitamin D3 from the pharmacy or from Whole Foods in 2015, 16. None of that. I don't have none of that. So this is what I have to show you. I've actually heard from people that there is no plant source of D3, but in my deep research as a vegan, I found that there were at least two sources of D3, and some of them were mushrooms, and the other ones were certain species of mushrooms, and then the other one was this lichen plant. I think that's what this D3 was from. I had another D3 that I used to get from Whole Foods, and it for sure had that lichen in it, and that was the source of the vegan D3. But I also had vegan D2 in a multivitamin, and the D2 was in all those fortified soy milks that I would be getting from the supermarket. This is some raw sprouted almond butter from Jiva Organics that I got on Amazon. I guess this was around a time when I would just bulk order a whole bunch of stuff on Amazon like every few months. But this stuff tastes so good. I only was able to get it like once or twice because it's super expensive to me. But the flavor was amazing. I love it. I could just eat it out the jar. I don't eat almonds right now because I'm not buying the organic almonds. I haven't seen that in the supermarket, and I know the ones that are not organic, they're full of glyphosate. All these chia seeds, and trying to keep my omega-3s right. And I would also order flax seeds too, but those chia seeds, I would blow through those as well. For all those vegans, like, you didn't eat hemp seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds. I ate tons of chia seeds. I even ate even more flax seeds than the chia seeds, which might be hard to believe based on this frequency of ordering all these chia seeds. But the flax seeds, they actually had them at the supermarket, so I didn't have to order them online, and they were super cheap at my local supermarket. Like, they had them in the bottom of this shelf. I don't think anybody was buying them, and they were just like on sale for really cheap, and I would just get a whole bunch of them, and they will last forever because you grind them up, and the volume of it just increases. Like, you can grind up like a quarter cup almost of flax seeds, and it just fluffs up so much. So yeah, I was getting those omega-3s. All the vegans, you didn't eat chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp hearts. I ate hemp hearts too. I think that salad in the beginning, I might have had hemp hearts on that too. I would sprinkle the hemp hearts on the salad because I didn't know any other way to eat them. I don't know what you were supposed to do with them, so I would just put them on a salad, and they didn't really taste like anything. So I would just pour them all on the salad and just get them in. That was my vegan mindset. Just get it in. All these foods, we know all the nutrition. We need this omega-3. Just get it in any way you can. Grind up all those flax seeds. Dump it in that smoothie. Dump it in that soup. Get a whole cup of those flax seeds a day. Put some of those chia seeds up in that smoothie too. This thick smoothie with all this so-called omega-3s in it. Yeah. Scrolling through this order history is kind of funny because I do not remember being on Christmas Day on Amazon ordering a 6-pack of Dr. McDougall split pea soup. I have no recollection of this, but I do believe it because I would blow through these as well because I ordered the same 6-pack 5 days before. I would make this soup. It was super easy and convenient. Just add some hot water and I would pour it over some rice and it was good. But so yeah, I did eat split peas. This was not the only split peas that I ate. I actually ordered like bags of split peas online too. I want to see if I can find those receipts too. But yeah, is this too processed? Is Dr. McDougall, is that the reason I failed the vegan diet? Because I ate this processed split pea soup? The only ingredients was like split peas and like dehydrated like spices and stuff. Or it didn't seem too processed, but y'all let me know if Dr. McDougall's soup is the reason I did the vegan diet wrong. Another random vegan vitamin D3 from 2016, chewable tablets. Is another random order of a supplement. I know this is what I ate, but I feel like in the veganism you have to include some of the supplements because that's also part of the diet, right? Part of the vegan diet is the supplements. So this is one of the B vitamins. I was taking a multivitamin with this in it, but I felt like I needed more because I developed a scalloped tongue on a vegan diet and it was kind of getting painful, especially around my canine teeth. My tongue was getting cut up by my teeth. So I looked online and see what deficiencies can cause this scalloped tongue because the doctor wasn't really taking it like as anything serious. And the dentist just told me to stop biting my tongue, but I was not biting my tongue. It was just swollen and pushing up against my teeth, and my tooth would just be digging in my tongue and it would be bleeding. So I started taking this pantothenic acid because that was said to be one of the deficiencies that can cause it. Also thyroid issues. So I started increasing my iodine consumption. Did all of this stuff and nothing worked. My tongue was still horribly swollen and getting cut up by my teeth until I became an ex-vegan, and I still have the scalloped tongue, but it's much milder. It's slowly healing, and my tongue is not getting cut up by my teeth anymore. And I think the reason that the doctor, she was not taking this scalloped tongue seriously was because I don't think that's like a major thing, especially when she tested my thyroid and stuff, and she tested my nutrition levels and everything was good. She actually tested my thyroid because my menstrual cycle was getting more spaced apart, and she wanted to make sure my hormones were okay, and they were all okay. As a vegan, the only test that I got that showed any abnormality was my potassium levels dropped off a few times, and I had another doctor concerned about my adrenal glands because the adrenal glands are what actually balance your blood sodium and potassium. So I was eating tons of bananas and avocados and all these potassium rich foods, and sometimes my potassium, it would just drop. So I don't know if something was going on with my adrenal glands, but I got those tested and the cortisol level was okay, so I don't know what was up with that. I started taking potassium supplements and it did not happen anymore, but I did end up in the ER with low potassium and had to get on a potassium drip. And after the first time, I actually started taking potassium supplements and it ended up happening again for a second time, the potassium level just dropping all of a sudden. And I bumped up the potassium supplements even more to the point that I was taking around basically like a deadly level of potassium, I feel like, because when you buy a bottle of potassium pills, they tell you to take one, and it's only like 2% or 3% allowed in each potassium pill. So I would order a potassium citrate in powder form, and each little, like, it was like a quarter of a teaspoon was like 2 or 3% of your daily potassium. I was taking tablespoons and tablespoons. I was definitely getting at least 2 or 300% of the daily potassium that you need. I feel like this is like kind of dangerous to take this much potassium in powder form, but it made me feel way better. My potassium did not drop off again. I do not take all that potassium now. As an animal food eater, I actually went a long time, like a whole month, with no potassium supplement whatsoever. Was barely eating any fruit with potassium in it, and went to get my potassium tested, and it was in the normal range. I was shocked because I had stopped all that potassium intake, and I was eating more of like a balanced omnivore diet, and my potassium level was good without all those pills, without all that powder that burns your mouth and your throat because this potassium does burn when you take a high dose of it. But I needed to do that while I was a vegan to prevent that potassium from spontaneously dropping off. And I'm not telling anyone to take any synthetic powders like that. Don't do it unless your doctor tells you to do it. And any of you vegans that want to write in the comment section, that's why you failed veganism, because you were taking synthetic powders, so much synthetic potassium. As far as I could see, that potassium is what stretched out the end stage veganism for me, because if I didn't have that potassium powder available, I probably would have been desperate enough to try anything at end stage veganism. I probably would have went out and ate some animal adrenal glands right away to see if that balanced my potassium and fixed my adrenal glands from kicking all that potassium out. But I ended up taking all that potassium powder, and that helped me to stretch my end stage veganism, because instead of being vegan for 5 years, I was able to last 6.5 years because I was mega dosing on that potassium, and that helped my heart rate to not be 215 beats per minute all of a sudden, okay? So if that's why I failed veganism, because I wanted to stabilize my heart rate and this was the only thing that worked, and my doctor was like, not really, they thought I was having anxiety attacks, and I wasn't, and then they ended up finding out that my potassium kept dropping off, and they ran every test possible and could not find any reason as to why my potassium would drop off. And I started taking this synthetic powder, and that stabilized me for the next year and a half on this vegan diet, that end stage veganism. If that's why I failed veganism, I don't understand that, because I would have only lasted 5 years then. But whatever, that potassium powder, it stabilized me. It helped me to stretch that end stage veganism out for longer. I know this video is getting so long, but if I just try to condense it too much, I don't think the vegans are going to see as much as I can find. But this is some whole flax seeds, a 24-ounce pack of 4. So there were 2-pound bags. You get 4 2-pound bags of these flax seeds, and I blew through these as well. Grind them up in that coffee grinder. Get that whole cup of flax seeds, dump that in that smoothie. Get all those chia seeds that I purchased in bulk, as you can see from the previous receipts. All these chia seeds and flax seeds, and this probably was around when I started noticing the dry skin issues, and I was trying to eat all these to get my skin together, to get my omega-3s together, whatever I thought was wrong. But the skin issues, like I was using a lot of skincare products at some point, and in the beginning they were working and as a vegan, and then towards very end stage veganism, all the skincare products stopped working until I found a product that I was using kind of working, and then I went online to a website that had the ingredients in English, found that I was using horse fat on my face, and that was the end of the veganism for me. But I did eat all these plant fats, okay? You saw them Brazil nuts, okay? You saw that almond butter. You see these flax seeds, you see all them chia seeds. So yes, I was eating plant fats. A bag of quinoa that I got in 2016, so-called complete protein. I never had any digestive issues as a vegan, but for some reason, in the beginning I was able to eat quinoa, and then towards the end, whenever I would eat it, I would feel a little super mild nausea, like I was going to throw up. It only lasted for like 5 minutes, but that was enough for me to stop eating quinoa. But during 2012 to 2016, I would eat quinoa on a regular basis. Complete protein. Maybe that's why I failed veganism, because that quinoa started making me nauseous for some reason. I guess I was supposed to just keep eating it, even though I felt like I would vomit. I don't like feeling like I'm going to throw up, so I'm not going to force myself to eat something that even if it makes me feel for 10 seconds like I'm going to throw up, I'm not eating it anymore. And it wasn't just this True Roots brand, it was all the brands of quinoa. For some reason, I got that little bit of nausea. Even if I get nausea for 2 seconds, I'm not buying and going to keep forcing myself to eat something that's giving me nausea. Especially when I tried different varieties, different brands, all the different colors of quinoa, the black, red, beige, whatever this color is. I tried all the different colors of the quinoa, and I still got that little wave of nausea for a few minutes and just felt like, ugh. You know, I don't like that. That doesn't leave a good memory in my mind when I'm at the supermarket looking for stuff to buy. That doesn't make me want to reach for some quinoa. Maybe that's why I failed veganism. I wasn't willing to deal with those couple minutes of nausea. I was eating rice and beans and stuff like that, so I guess that could also be a complete protein. But if you're telling me that I have to every human on this planet needs quinoa in order to stay vegan. That's why I did it wrong. That's okay. We all need quinoa, this specialized food from this one area of the world. All right. In order of Irish moss, which is supposed to be good for your skin and stuff, I would soak it in a like a container overnight in the refrigerator, and then in the morning you take like a pinch of it off, or like probably like a tablespoon size amount off, and put it in a smoothie with everything else. And it's supposed to be good for your skin and building collagen. In the early stage of veganism, when I was using this, I don't feel like I noticed any difference. My collagen was still good and still intact. But in the end stages of veganism, using this, no results whatsoever. The collagen was still drying up. My face was drying up. My forehead was looking thin. Seeing the veins in my eyelids and stuff like that. This was not working, but I still was taking it in end stage veganism. This is very end stage, May 2018. Because a few months later, I was no longer a vegan, but I was still trying hard, still getting that Irish moss and getting everything that I could to try and make this vegan diet work. And this Irish moss is supposed to be filled with minerals too. A bulk order of some lentil soup. I don't know what the vegans will say about this. Oh, it's processed. It came in a can. This organic lentils. Well, I eat processed food that comes in a can now, and I'm not having issues with my neck hurting like it's too weak to support my head. I'm not having issues with my menstrual cycle getting more and more spaced apart. I'm not having issues with my hair being thin, and I'm just not having any issues now from eating canned processed cans of lentil soup. So why was I having those issues when I was a vegan? Is this the problem? Is this why I did veganism wrong? I was eating this organic soup of golden lentils from Amy Soups. Is Amy the one that's failing the vegans? Let me know. A vegan plant-based K2 supplement that I don't even remember ordering. But apparently I was ordering K2 online too. And I also remember buying vegan K2 from my local pharmacy because they had it there too. That, it wasn't Country Life. What was it called? Rainbow Light, I think. They had a multivitamin and it had K2 in it or whatever. And it was vegan, but I got this online too. I was really trying to up those K2 and D3 because this was around when I started having those dental issues. This 2017 was the year of me being at that dentist's office all the time, getting those cavities filled, getting those teeth pulled. So I was trying to bump up that K2 and that D3. Yeah. Isn't this what those vegan doctors say they eat every morning? In that video on plant-based news when they say, what do you all you medical vegan professionals, what do you eat every day for breakfast? Oatmeal. This is a bulk order of oatmeal. I didn't eat oatmeal every single day, probably on like 3 or 4 days a week. Maybe that's where I failed. Maybe you're supposed to eat oatmeal every single morning. Because I would have a smoothie, and then if I was still hungry, I would have some oatmeal, and sometimes I would actually put some of the oatmeal into the smoothie to make it more like satiating or whatever. But maybe that's where I went wrong. Maybe I was supposed to have oatmeal every single morning. Maybe that's the vegan thing. You can't have it 3 or 4 mornings a week. You gotta have it every single day. Maybe that's it. A bulk order of basmati rice, which goes with that Dr. McDougall soup and those Amy's lentil soup and whatever lentil soup I would make on my own. And it would go with those black beans and those chickpeas. So I would order bulk bags of rice sometimes. I would usually get my rice from the supermarket, but I really like this basmati rice, so this was kind of like a luxury thing. But if I was on a stricter budget, I wouldn't get this. Depending on how my budget was looking, I would also get the jasmine rice from the supermarket. A huge 54 ounce of coconut oil. If anyone else was still in doubt about me not eating enough fats, this is the only fat that I would actually cook with, except for on rare occasions olive oil if I ran out of coconut oil. But typically I would cook anything that needed cooking with oil with some coconut oil, because I heard that was like the heating didn't damage it or whatever the reasons were that they tell you to eat coconut oil. A huge 54 ounce jar, and this is not the only coconut oil that I ordered. I was eating plenty of coconut oil. I felt like for the time being, at least for a while there, it kind of, in early stages of veganism, having that coconut oil, it did seem like my skin was more luminous and just healthy looking. But obviously in stage veganism, you can cram in all the coconut oil you want. You can slather it on your skin. You can eat tablespoons of it. Your skin still won't look dull, dry. But yeah, I was eating fat, so don't none of y'all come up here. You weren't eating coconut oil. You ate nothing. They all say the same thing. You are eating a junk food Oreo diet. Like they know you, like they've seen your whole Amazon history. Well, I'm going to show you my Amazon history. I know this video is like eternally long. This is like an everlasting video, but I really just want to show y'all what was up when I was on the vegan diet. And I'm sorry if this video is long. You can speed it up, watch it double time and triple time. But I need to show y'all vegans. ordering that next 6 months worth of B12, the methylcobalamin type. All along during my vegan journey, I was taking a multivitamin that had B12. It did have the methylcobalamin in it. I took not just one multivitamin, but a few different types and isolated vitamins as well that I felt like I needed. Buying this 6 month worth of B12. So yeah, that's another thing the vegans say. You weren't taking B12. Actually, I was. Some iodine drops. I was also using sea kelp powder in my smoothies. And I also had these other iodine drops, but they were clear like water. They were potassium iodide, and then this is some other type that's like that super brown colored iodine. So I was using both of those. Trying to stay on top of every single possible nutrient. Maybe I still was missing one after spending all this money. And it's crazy if after doing all of this and spending all this money on all these supplements and all these foods and ordering foods online. I don't have to order any foods online right now other than like some ancestral supplements. But online on Amazon making a killing off of me being a vegan. Maybe they were supposed to make more of a killing. Maybe I missed something. But yeah, I was ordering this drops of iodine. Nutritional yeast flakes, also full of B12 supposedly. I had this fortified kind and I also had another unfortified kind. I was using both of them, trying to, hit all the bases from the natural non-fortified yeast. Maybe that B vitamins would do something different than the fortified one, but I would use both of those. And any of you vegans, if you really look at this complete list of all the stuff that I ordered on Amazon, you still want to tell me I did veganism wrong, please remember that I also went to the supermarket. If you can judge someone's vegan diet just strictly based off of a few photos and some things they order online, is the vegan diet supposed to be an online receipts diet? I don't get it, but this is also something that I use. I use sprinkling on pasta. It tastes quite good. That soup that I showed in the beginning, that soup with the potatoes and the zucchini and stuff and mushrooms, I would actually put this in there too. It was quite tasty. Use this as well. Trying to get some B vitamins in. Another surprise, I found that I also ordered this same vegan D3 60 capsules back in 2015, and don't think that between 2015 and the 2017 thing where I showed this again, don't think that I went all that time without taking D3. I just was using a variety of brands because I feel like on a vegan diet, I just wasn't comfortable with using just one thing, like that nutritional yeast with the fortified B vitamins. I also wanted the unfortified kind. I wanted the multivitamin with the vegan D3, but I also wanted to make sure, just to be sure, get this MRM D3, get that other one with a more green bottle, the lichen D3, the multivitamin with the calcium in the D3. Like, I was trying to get a variety of different supplements over the years just to make sure if one of them wasn't quite getting it, I was also taking another one at the same time. And a few months down the line, I would also be swapping it out and try it out a different one. Okay, so I went back and forth the whole time, and maybe that's why. Maybe I should have just stuck with this one supplement the whole time. I don't know. And it wasn't even just this one supplement, because once again, there was vitamin D in those fortified things. There was also vitamin D in the multivitamin. Okay, so y'all let me know. Was I switching up my multivitamins too often? Is that also another thing? You have to take the same multivitamin the whole time you're a vegan? Let me know, y'all vegans. Okay, this will be the last Amazon thing that I show, because if I keep showing, it'll literally go on for forever. But these are some raw sunflower seed kernels, and I got these April 2017. This was around the time when I got that cookbook, that Marcus and Kara cookbook with the raw vegan recipes. I was always open-minded to raw vegan recipes. As a vegan, I was never going to go 100% full raw and stay full raw, but I was definitely open to trying out some of those recipes. And they had like the tuna, the mock tuna from the sunflower seeds. It wasn't bad. It was a little, it's gonna be a little drier than real tuna because it's a sea. It's not like tuna, but it was alright. I wouldn't make it again. I wouldn't ever buy these raw sunflower seeds and try to make some mock tuna again. But as a vegan, it was alright. So yeah, I was trying out some raw recipes. Was not raw vegan, as you can see from all the other stuff that I ordered. I was eating rice. I was eating oatmeal. I was eating all this other stuff that was not raw, but I was eating some raw stuff as well. Was I eating too many raw food recipes? Was I supposed to eat no raw food recipes and all cooked food recipes? Or maybe even more raw food recipes? I don't know. Why is it so complicated? Why do I have to do all this? Why do I have to give Amazon all my money and still fail on a vegan diet and still have this diet make me ill, make my skin jacked up? Shouldn't raw sunflower seeds have healthy fats and proteins to help your skin stay intact and stay healthy? Well, it wasn't working for me. Okay, I know I said that was going to be the last thing, but just in case, because you never know what wild cards these vegans will come up with. Well, all we saw was canned lentils and processed lentils. You needed whole whole lentils that were unprocessed. Well, I got these whole lentils that were unprocessed. Okay, I was eating these too. They do taste way better than the ones that you get at the supermarket, and they do taste better than the ones in the can, but for convenience, I did eat the canned lentils too. So in case you want to say, for some random reason, vegans must eat unprocessed lentils too, I was eating unprocessed lentils, and I also got the same brand of split peas. I'll see if I can find that, and then that'll be the last thing. But yes, I was eating unprocessed lentils, soaking them, cooking them myself, making lentil burgers out of these too, which were good. Trying really hard to make this vegan diet work, eating as much variety as I could possibly get. It still didn't work. Okay, sorry y'all. I still gotta keep going with this, but I was eating kidney beans too. Maybe there will be a vegan to say you didn't get kidney beans. Kidney beans are the answer. You never know with these vegans, but yes, I was eating kidney beans too. And yes, these do have a 3-star review. Maybe I was supposed to get the 5-star kidney beans. I got the bags of kidney beans from the supermarket too, the dry ones. But yeah, I was eating these 3-star organic kidney beans. Organic. The only organic ones they had on Amazon at the time when I ordered was these ones. But yeah, I ate these two. Organic kosher kidney beans. And I found some probiotic stuff that I had ordered just in case there happens to be anyone that says you weren't eating probiotics. And that's the answer. Dad McDonald said we have to eat probiotics. Okay. I was taking them probiotics. I was drinking that probiotic juice, and I also had some probiotic tea. So yeah, I was getting those probiotics in, and I was also having the kimchi from the supermarket. There's nothing more that I could have purchased. I'm pretty sure. Definitely in my local supermarket, there was nothing more that I could have purchased. Online, there was nothing more that I could have purchased. They had the Rainbow Light multivitamin, the plant-based multivitamin in this pharmacy in my town, so I actually got the multivitamin from there instead of Amazon. I ain't got those receipts, so you just have to take my word for it that I did take the multivitamin as well on top of all of this. Why would I not take the multivitamin? I'm online buying random D3 and K2 and Irish Moss. Why would I not take a multivitamin too? I was taking that too. I'm going to end the video now because I'm tired of talking about this stuff, and if you think that maybe she just didn't eat enough calories, I ate enough calories. Trust me. Okay? Because I wasn't trying to lose weight. Even now I'm not trying to lose weight, even though the vegans are saying you're obese and you're morbidly obese. Okay, that's fine. But as a vegan, I was eating between, some days it would be as low as 2100, but usually between 2300 and 2600 calories a day. The most that I had recorded myself from memory was around 2800. I don't think I ever made it to 3000 calories in a day on a vegan diet, because I wasn't eating a whole bunch of junk food, and that's really calorie dense. The stuff that I was eating was more like spaced out calories, and my portions were not exactly small. Okay, I promise y'all, this is the very, very last thing I'm going to show, but I did get this blue-green algae, and maybe this wasn't the right kind, because I can see now in the email that they sent me, they spelt the word algae wrong, but on the bottle it says blue-green algae. And this is from PL Nutrition. Maybe this isn't the right kind of algae that you need on a vegan diet, but this is the one that I was taking. It's kind of crazy if that's the determining factor. That's a very privileged first world. You have to be able to go online and order this specific algae. You ordered the wrong type of algae. I don't know. All I can say is I did everything that I could. I would not go back to a vegan diet even if it was the algae. Even if you tell me you have to order this other algae, and that would have made your skin clear up from having all this rugged texture to it and having all these deep lines in your forehead, and that would have made your neck stop hurting as if it was too weak to hold up your head, and that would I don't care about all of that. All those chia seeds and flax seeds galore. I'm pretty sure I had more chia seeds and definitely more flax seeds than I've ever seen anyone consume, even on YouTube. I've never seen the volume of chia seeds and flax seeds consumed. Never got any digestive issues from them. Never saw any negative effects from that. I don't think that the vegan issues that I had was from consuming so many flax seeds and chia seeds. In fact, if I went a couple of days without those chia seeds and flax seeds, the skin would look worse. I felt like that stuff was really kind of lubricating my joints a little bit, the chia seeds and the flax seeds, but it still was not getting it like it needed to be got. I needed complete healing. I needed to completely feel good, not be struggling and fighting with these chia seeds, just to get a little relief in my neck joints or whatever was hurting up in my neck. I needed some complete relief. I didn't need no 5% improvement in my dull, dry skin after going a couple days without chia seeds and flax seeds, adding them back in, seeing a little 5% improvement in my skin. No, my body needed a real hit of some real nutrition, and these plant foods were just not getting it for me. I didn't have any more money to give. I didn't have any more time to give. I didn't have any more patience to give. So if any of you vegans have any suggestions as to what was wrong with my vegan diet, you can write them in the comments. I'm still never going to go back to a vegan diet. I'm not spending all this money on all these supplements anymore. Not about to do that. But I'm curious what you vegans think of this, of what you can see of my vegan diet, and please be aware that there was more. I was going to the supermarket, as I said over and over again, and hauling heavy bags of groceries from the supermarket full of produce, rice, beans, oatmeal, lentils, potatoes, more nuts and seeds. I would get the cashews from the supermarket because I didn't trust online for some reason with the cashews. So y'all just let me know.